This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Alrighty, yes sir, welcome aboard on a beautiful Saturday, live from Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines, a place we've been broadcasting from for 10 years now. We appreciate it, and we're starting the new year. I haven't seen all of you since last year. It's a beautiful thing, right? Let's use a cheesy joke and let's get it out of the way and let's move on. It is 2021. Hopefully we can make it a much better year than 2020. Let's hope so, folks.
Can I, on that note, you know what? Here, bro.
Go ahead.
Somebody stopped by. That would be Ray.
Oh, Ray came by?
Surprise for you, bro.
Wow.
Yes, Santa Claus.
Ray, you're awesome.
Ray playing the part of Santa Claus. 7 days, I think, late.
So he
From Christmas Day.
Oh, the new.
Yes.
So you got the new McCartney CD for me.
Yes, and it is a limited edition.
Very
He
nice.
told me that usually the dice is black. This one's green. It is the limited edition of that, by the way, sir.
Okay, all right. So I've
Yes.
got to make sure to take care of that.
And there's another thing in there for you.
Put it in my iPod or my phone, actually. Wow, nice. He got me a pop-up merino. Very nice. Very nice.
Man, he got me a Harley.
Very nice. Thank you, Ray. That is very nice of you, man.
He got me a Harley Quinn poster.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and she is smoking.
Okay. Nice.
You know how that works?
Okay.
Yes, Ray. I told him.
Back in the freestyle days, I used to love a song called "The Harlequin Tears." It's a great song. If you can ever find it, the front of it is a clown that is sitting down on the floor, black and white, and it's called "Harlequin Tears." Very cool song, actually.
I blamed it on you, the fact that he missed you, because I did say when I left, I called him and said, "Hey, we could get on at 11:30," and O said, "Nope, we're sticking to 12." So that's why you miss Ray, bro.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Ray. I'm sorry you were here earlier and I couldn't be here on time. But, dude, thank you so much for the gifts. That's very, very kind of you, man. Too kind.
A little
Thank you.
surprise. I was going to do it, and then I'm sitting there
Thank
and I'm
you.
thinking, let me hide this and wait until we're on the air and surprise you.
Yeah, we haven't done a show from the studio in a while, the home studio. So I guess we have something new to add to it. I got to add that. I got to add the Tommy UM helmet. I don't know how to put it. I've got such limited space back there, but I got to figure out how to lay out all that. So we'll eventually do all of that. So thank you all, as always. Happy New Year to everybody out there. Thank you for
Happy New Year, everybody.
Thank you for giving us a lot of support in 2020. Even though it was a very, very rough year for all of us. Maybe we were hoping for a lot better things. But unfortunately, it did not happen. But you know what, man? We gotta push along, and we gotta figure out a way to make it better here in 2021. That's all we can do at this point.
You know what I was texting out? If 2021 puts some semi-half-assed effort into it, the year, it should kick 2020's ass easily, right?
Yeah.
Just a half-ass effort.
Yes. I mean, 2020 was really crappy, so. You know, it's the bar is really low, and
exactly.
So let's hope 2021 is much better, and we can be smart. Look, you want to be smarter? Look at Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara is out for this game again for the Saints, and then he's also probably out for the first week of the playoffs. And so it's one of those things where. Now comes out a picture of him on Christmas Day partying with a whole bunch of people without a mask, and they show him taking a picture with 3 women, all of them maskless, right? And even one came out now to say that she was making out with him, okay? And so now he ends up with COVID. And look, I didn't see their faces, but I saw their bodies. I mean, the man was hanging around with some, high end there. You know what I'm saying? They were obviously their bodies were very good looking, very shapely, and so I get it, man. The temptations are always going to be there, but unfortunately, in this world that we're in right now, with a pandemic, we just got to be smarter. And really, that's how 2021 is going to be a lot better than 2020. If you're not stupid and don't put yourself in those situations, you're Alvin Kamara. Dude, you can have women anytime, okay? Anytime. And so show a little patience, show a little restraint, care about your teammates, care about your franchise, care about your fans, care about your job, care about that moment. You'll have plenty of time to party. That's the one thing that a lot of people have not learned about 2020 is that there's going to be a tomorrow. Okay? 2020 wasn't the only time you can go to a concert, or you can go to a club, or you can go hang out with women, or you can, all of those things are going to come back. But it's going to take a lot longer for it to come back if we keep doing stupid things. And so you look at Alvin Kamara, that's a perfect way to start the show to bridge 2020 to 2021. Here's a guy that has put his team at risk. And everybody knows how important Alvin Kamara is to the New Orleans Saints offense. We all know Drew Brees is the man, but it helps to have a guy like Alvin Kamara who's incredibly dynamic as a receiver and as a runner, and a guy you can't replace. It's just not that easy to replace something like that, because he is a special player, special talent. And yet he mishandled this situation, and he got himself COVID because he was partying with a bunch of chicks, and he wanted to get laid. And you're Alvin Kamara, dude, put it in your pants. Maybe pick up a COVID girlfriend. That's an idea for these guys. Cut a deal, a written deal, okay, with a woman. All you guys you got money, right? You pay them like a certain amount of money. Here, you got 150 grand. You stay with me for the next 9 months. And we can have some fun and all that. You can't get pregnant. And we can't do anything outside of us. So that way we stay COVID free. Then you bang all you want. And then when COVID's over, you pay her and she leaves.
You show her the door?
That's it. Plenty of women would do that.
Usually when the little head does the thinking for the big head, you get in trouble.
That's it. So really that's all with 2020. At least, the early part of 2020, it's really what it's all about. Let's be smarter than we were in 2020 so we can help each other get out of this pandemic and we can all get our lives back to normal again. So then Alvin Kamara can go out and bang all the chicks he wants. So I can go to all the concerts that I want. You know what I mean? That's kind of what we want to do. And that's really what it's all about. So let's hope you can use a little bit more intelligence in 2021 to help you out in 2020.
Guys that play like Kamara, what are we talking? 3. Saquon Barkley, McCaffrey?
Yeah, no.
Anybody else? I think that's about it, right?
Elliott.
Zeke can catch the ball. That's true.
Yeah.
But that's it. It's a very limited group.
Yeah, it's extremely limited. So, you're a high-end running back. You just got to be a lot smarter with all of this. What do we got going on early in the morning here, early in the afternoon here? Gus 1388, what's up, people? He wants a captain and ginger. I like it. Hialeah Bread says, what's up, Omar Lopez is in the house. Flipside Fishing. Drew Boo is in. Ian says, oh, snap, nice surprise. Big O and Bill in the hizzy. That's right. Radically says, Big O, do you think that practicing against X and Jones is making Tua afraid to throw 15 to 25 yards downfield? Tua needs to pick on other teams' weakest covermen. No, man, it's a rookie. Radically, let's go. All of you out there, let's stop looking too much into it. It's a rookie quarterback. Rookie quarterbacks take a while to normally adjust to what's going on in the league, man. That's all. It's just part of it. They got to adjust to game speed. They got to adjust to the talent. They got to adjust to the intelligence. Everything that goes on in the NFL is 10 times harder than what you're doing in college. So it's not going to be an easy transition for most quarterbacks. Very few of them, almost less than 5% of them do what Marino did. It just doesn't happen. It's not normal. It's normal to throw a boatload of interceptions and look really bad like Peyton Manning. It's normal. Well, maybe it's not as normal, but Drew Brees was terrible for 3 years. You know, it's just normal. Josh Allen looked like a complete disaster his first year. And then he got better the second year, and he took it to like an elite level this year. So it's 3 years in. You guys got to stop with this. The problem with some of you out there, you're overanalyzing this. It's just a young player trying to adjust to the NFL. And it's not easy, dude.
Exactly what you're talking about, my buddy, fellow Bear fan. Sent me something. Trubisky and Rodgers. Look at that. 29-20, exactly the same wins, losses, just about the same completion percentage. Trubisky has more game-winning drives in his first 49 games than Aaron Rodgers. And we all know that Trubisky's been nothing special. So to give you an idea, this is a comparison against Aaron Rodgers. You can't expect a lot from young QBs, man.
Actually, it's that thing is even worse for Rodgers.
Yeah.
He had 4 years to sit.
You know what? More time watching, Brett Favre. You're right.
Okay. So he had a long time to even get prepared for the role more than everybody else. Tua didn't even have an offseason. He had to spend his offseason mostly rehabbing a hip, not getting to know an offense and all that. It's just I just feel like we're in this microwave society, and some of you out there, you want to dig into a problem that doesn't exist. You know what I mean? That's radically, and some of you out there, Tua doesn't have a problem. Tua's just young and learning, okay? He doesn't have a problem. Dwayne Haskins has a problem. Are we clear on that? Dwayne Haskins is an idiot. He plays terrible football, and he exposes himself to COVID with strippers. Do you see Tua doing any of that? 10 touchdowns, 2 interceptions is not terrible football. We're worried about him making bigger plays. We're worried about him moving the offense a little bit more. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It really is. It just gets to a point where people, you got to slow the hell down, man. God.
Oh, is this a thing that
it's just,
Dolphin fans are used to complaining? We haven't had much to complain about, so you got to kind of channel and find something to bitch about.
There's nothing to complain about.
Right, but you know what I'm saying.
I know.
You know what I'm saying.
I know.
It's so we're out of our usual, and we got to look for something.
Yeah. Troy says, let's pray Parker can play tomorrow. Looks like he's going to play. 100%. Looks like he's going to play. If the Finns lose, who else do we need to lose to Finns make the playoffs? It's you need the here. Let me tell you.
Is it any of the three behind us?
You need
6,
Baltimore.
7, yeah. 8.
Can I finish? You need Baltimore to lose to Cincinnati, Cleveland to lose to Pittsburgh, Colts to lose to Jags. One of those three has to happen. If one of those three happens, you're in. Colts aren't losing to the Jags. Cleveland could lose to Pittsburgh still because Cleveland's got hell. They have a Cleveland today closed their facility after a coach tested positive. We don't know exactly how many players are going to be out. The great Tony Stampone in the house. We don't know how many Browns players are out versus Steelers, but we know that they're resting Big Ben and other players. So it's going to be, a mess. So you got to hope for that, and it's really hard. And Cincinnati, they just lost one of their D linemen. He just tested positive for COVID. Mike Daniels, the D lineman, just tested positive for COVID. So that's one less guy. And I know they played an upstart game the other day, and they beat down the Steelers and all of that. But come on, man. It's tough to think. But yeah, you got to hope that Baltimore loses to Cincinnati. It's really, really tough. Really tough. Sid says, is this life? I don't know what that means, Sid, but yeah, this is life. Let's see. Ian says, I passed a party off Marina Mile Boulevard last night. I saw about 100 people outside, no masks. Yep. Stupidity will keep us in this vicious cycle for a while longer. Okay? We could have already controlled it now if we would have, done what we were supposed to do from the get-go. Okay? If everybody's done what Bill and I did since this thing started, we would have very little issues. Go look at the COVID cases all over the world. And it's every country. It's 11,000, 17, 22, 14, 9, 8,000. That's what it is. Then you look at America, and it's 160. It's just, I know those of you that want to keep politicizing this and not look at reality, you're going to say every country lies except the United States, right? Is that what we're going to say now? Right? Just like the same people that politicized it said, wait till we pick a president. Then, if Biden wins, we'll never hear about COVID again. No, we're hearing more about it, and it's got a new strain, and the worst is yet to come. But no, you keep politicizing it. You go ahead. That's all. Let's see. Michael Guerrero says, Big O, happy 2021 to you and Bill. Thank you. Sage says, agree, Big O. We're forgetting he was injured and didn't play for a whole year, not to mention no preseason. It's just, Sage, we're at a ridiculous point now with Tua. It's just sad how we're demanding stuff like surprised, and we think he's a bust. Well, some of you out there. But it's the same people that thought Chris Greer was part of the problem, right? Remember those two idiots we had that every day they would just jam on Chris Greer now, And look how stupid those two idiots look, right? I mean, those guys look like they are dumb sports fans. They are stupid football fans. They're tools that repeat something stupid that somebody else said, and since they can't think for themselves, they actually just repeat it. But just like those two morons, and I forgot the names of those two morons. Do any of you out there are still on the chat board here remember the two morons we blocked that did that for Chris Greer? And then we had the people like Gaskin sucks and he's a bust after his first year. Where are all those people? You know what I mean? It's the same thing. All these people that are complaining about Tua now, when Tua finally figures it out and the light goes on and he starts balling, then people are going to say, oh, no, I never said that about Tua. They'll go back and erase their tweets and all that stuff. And, that's what's going to end up happening. It's kind of what happens nowadays. Mike says Tua has a 5-to-1 TD to interception ratio. He's not always finding the right answers, but at least he's not making bad decisions. A la Dwayne Haskins. Right? If you're going to complain about a quarterback, you complain about Dwayne Haskins. Don't complain about Tua, dude. I mean, if Tua was out eating crap, if he was doing Johnny Manziel, then fine. Then let's rip Tua. But it's not like he's not playing crappy. He's just not elite right now. Oh, man. Steven says, absolutely. Tua will have trouble tomorrow, no doubt, but this is how he works through it by doing it. He's going to be fine, a really solid QB, I think, for a long time. Could even be great. I'm with you. I think he will be great. I wanted to touch base on that, Steven. I'm glad you brought that up because I made a note of that when I was preparing for the show. And do you realize that this year in this season, a kid that had no offseason spent his entire time repairing his hip, okay, to get it ready so he can play an NFL season. And so far he's got 13 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, I believe. I believe he's rushed for 3 touchdowns, and he's thrown 10. and he's thrown 2 interceptions. So he's got a 10-2 touchdowns to interception ratio, passing a total of 13 touchdowns, right? And one of the things that I wanted to talk about is this is a kid that didn't have an offseason, yet they threw him in the fire with the Rams, with the Chiefs, and now this last game of the season at the Bills. You realize he played the 3 toughest games of the year. I mean, it's pretty impressive. Okay? And he's 1-1 so far in those games. And he had a hell of a performance against Arizona. People seem to kind of forget that when they're slamming the kid for no reason at all. But you got to understand, this young hombre has got to be an incredibly tough cookie. Because, one, you dislocate your hip. You then now have to make the decision, do I go back to play this brutal game? Kid doesn't hesitate. He goes to rehab. He works his ass off in rehab. It gets in the way of his preparation for the draft and everything else. And then also, you got COVID, which then takes away prepare for the season. Okay, not that he was 100% even throughout the NFL the offseason, but at one point or another, he was going to be clear to play, but didn't get a real training camp, didn't get a real preseason, didn't get an opportunity to really get himself acclimated to his new teammates, his receivers, all of that. None of that ever happened. So then the season starts with very little preparation, and you've got to start at this point in time. And then by the time you think the kid is ready, because technically that first 6 weeks of the season was his training camp, was kind of like his preseason. He didn't really play, but it was kind of one of those mental-like preseasons. You throw him in there to the Rams. And, it's funny because when Ben Volen tweeted out, they don't trust him, I tweeted back to Ben Volen, they don't trust him. They started him against the Rams and the Chiefs. You don't know what you're talking about. That's the ultimate sign of trust. So this is a young man that one of you said that that's how he gets through it, by doing it on Steven, right? And that's exactly what Flo is thinking. He's like, well, I got to get this young man prepared, and I got to find out more about him. Well, let me put him through the ringer here. Let me put him in some difficult situations, and let's see how he performs. So far, he's 1-1 in those games. We'll find out tomorrow what he does against the Bills. And is he supposed to struggle? Probably. Should he lose? Probably. But it's not because he's a loser or anything along those lines, or he's not good enough. It's because the Bills are better. The Bills have the better team right now. And they're home. They've won 12 games. Miami's won 10. They beat Miami the first go-around. They're playing better football. So they're the better team right now. They got into the playoffs last year with 10 wins. Now they're there looking for their 13th win of the season. So they're not supposed to win tomorrow. Can they? Hell yeah, they can win it. I think the Dolphins can win this game. Intelligence that you expect them or demand them to win, and demand Tua to be great in this moment when they've had very little to prepare compared to Buffalo. Buffalo's been developing this team for over 3 years now. They've been developing this quarterback for 3 years. Miami is, 10 games? 9. Tomorrow will be 10. Not even an entire season with your first QB. It's a really difficult, path to navigate for the Dolphins. But it's awesome that they're here at this point. It's pretty amazing, actually. That's why I keep telling all of you out there, can you just enjoy the ride? It's been a phenomenal ride. I don't need to see any more from these guys. I've seen enough. I know that they're going to be a hell of a team down the line, but they're really green all over the place. So we got to give them time to grow, you know? We got to give Noah time to grow. We got to give Austin Jackson time to grow. We got to give Solomon Kinley time to heal and grow. Robert Hunt, and so on and so forth. I just find it really odd, the unrealistic demands sometimes that people have on these players and this team right now, because they spoiled you incredibly this season. They exceeded expectations at a level that none of us really expected. So we got to, take a step back and enjoy what's going on and not be so critical about everything right now. There'll be a time to be critical in another year or two when there's more of an even level playing field, when their team has had time to develop, when the coach has had time to figure it out, when everybody has already matured. You know what I mean? That's when we can start to put a little bit more demands and expectations. But when this is the first go-round for Andrew Van Ginkel, and this is the first go-round for Austin Jackson and Nick Needham and everybody else that's on this team, you got to slow down, man. You got to slow down. There's not a lot of players on this team that know about a lot of success. Hell, Byron Jones has been in the league for a while now, and he has no idea what success is like because he's played for the Cowboys. You know? And I'm sure this has been shell-shock to him, watching how this organization's run, the clown show that he came from in Irving. So I'm glad you brought it up, Stephen. I just think we need to kind of slow things down a little bit and take a step back and realize what they're actually trying to accomplish and what they're doing.
You talking about the Kansas City, them facing Kansas City, facing the Rams. It reminded me of a segment you did earlier this week on the 31st, segment 2, where you were talking about that Fitz getting COVID. Flores is kind of liking the fact that Tua is being put to the fire.
Right.
Okay? To get a test, to see where he's at.
Exactly.
It connects with that. It's December 31st, the second segment.
There you go. Troy says Tua will look awesome next year once he gets better weapons and improve O-line. We need to be a little bit more patient with him. I agree. It's just we got to get to the crazy stuff going on, man. Let's see. Tua is perfect for this team. Once the light turns on for him, he'll be the most efficient passer in the league. He's pretty efficient now, and he doesn't have a great situation. Sid says, give Tua some nuclear weapons. He'll be okay. I agree. Let's see. I'm on the Micah Parsons pick bandwagon. I think Tua will be fine, but like Big O said, need to fine-tune. Let's see. Jay Walsh says, guys, did you see the article out of China? They're telling their flight attendants to wear diapers and not to go to the washroom for COVID. Gross. That's true.
I did see that, and yeah, I don't know, man. You know what I was thinking of? You remember?
Just make sure you go to the bathroom before you get on the plane.
You know what I was thinking? Do you remember the thing you did? We were at VSS, I remember, that farts can contain COVID.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking that's why they were wearing the diapers, like to mask. You know what I mean?
Yeah, mask the farts. Yeah. Josh is in, says, what's up, Bill and Big O and everybody? Happy New Year. Tua weapons, and he will be elite. I agree. Let's see. What else? ISIS is in. BBYCP says, we got morons like Lombardi and Tannenbaum in our ears. Not in my ear. I don't listen to Lombardi, bro. You know. Let's see. Oh, Mike Pellegrino. That's the guy. Yes. That was one of the two idiots that kept picking on Chris Greer. That's right. That they just kept hammering every single day the same point, and it ended up being a stupid point. Isn't that the worst part about it is that a lot of these morons that have come on our chat board over the last, 15, 16 months that we've been doing this, that those usually the ones that keep hammering the same point, they're usually dead wrong. And they're just hammering away a really idiotic point. It's awesome. Isis says, Happy New Year, Big O and Bill. Can't wait till Sunday afternoon. I have faith in Flores and Chan to do what's best for the team. 2 is a rookie and ceiling is very high. Bromar says, what was the other guy's name? Pellegrino and another guy. Yeah, there was the other guy. It was 2 idiots.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, you smacked them down in less than a week.
It gets old.
The both of them. One of them we were at VSS, and the other one I think we were at Toyota of Hollywood.
Yeah, it just gets old. It's just like stupid. You just want to be an annoying idiot. And we get your point. You don't like Chris Greer, fine. Whatever.
If anybody wants to step up to the table, the other day, O said there was actually a time to stop. He changed the parameters. Please feel free to tell O what to do.
Derek says, Big O, you might have said this a million times. Sorry, I'm just tuning in. Do you think Bills rest starters for tomorrow? No, I don't. They're going to go for the second seed. So expect it.
But you did say they will be scoreboard watching, right?
Yeah, second half. I could see them starting to rest their guys late third, early fourth, if Pittsburgh's completely pulling away. Okay? Now, if Cleveland's winning, it's a whole different ballgame. So yeah, no. They will be watching that game. But if that's a game, then they've got to stay on the field and finish out the Dolphins. All this is stemming from comparisons to Herbert and Burrow. Herbert is a 6-win team. Burrow threw 13 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Not exactly record-breaking. And both may have better weapons, too. Jay Walsh, most mock drafts are BS. They actually see Sewell falling to Cincy at 5. What a joke. We won't take Chase at 3. I would take Sewell at 3. And yesterday, let me tell you something. Let's talk a little bit about what happened yesterday. Because if you listen to this show every day, okay, or on Onside, Bill will know, at least from the podcast, you never heard me ever make a case for Ohio State not being in the championship picture. You remember how everybody was complaining, like a ton of people, well, they only have, a certain amount of wins. Why should we put Ohio State there? And then, Coastal Carolina, they go and lose to Liberty, and they were up to like 13th in the country. And we get into this idiocy of, because we don't want to live in reality, right? And look, down here, I get it. Some of you out there, you hate Ohio State, and I can't stand them myself. I'm with you there. But the difference is I can compartmentalize and look at it differently. And at no point you don't have any recording anywhere that says Ohio State, no, they don't deserve to be there. This is disgusting. This is whatever. Do you know why? Because the entire time I figured Ohio State belonged there. Because whether they played enough games or not, the bottom line is they have the talent. They have the talent every year. And Alabama, Clemson, and Ohio State are the 3 best teams. The team that I thought was the fraud was Notre Dame. I never expected Notre Dame to beat Alabama. And they only beat Clemson because Clemson had the young backup. And that young backup, give the ukulele 1 year of experience, and he's beating down Notre Dame like clubbing seals. But we get into this stupidity, right, where we want to try to make a case for Coastal Carolina. We want to make a case for, what was the other team that was
That would be Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
That beat Georgia.
Right. Cincinnati. I mean, come on, dude. I'm saying, come on. Enough already. Cincinnati. I'm not putting Cincinnati and Georgia. I mean, Georgia's known for choking. Whether it was Mark Richt or Kirby Smart. Doesn't matter. That was kind of their MO. They've been chokers for a long time. It's 20 years now that they choke all their games. Cincinnati, nice team. Was it 9-1 in the American Conference?
Yeah, and you could see the Georgia, the way they played that game, they didn't really care. They felt slighted. You know what I mean? And, we're playing Cincinnati because Cincinnati showed up and beat them.
No, they lost 24-21.
They did come back and beat them?
Yeah, it was a close loss.
No, but I mean, Cincinnati was handling, you know what I mean, physically.
Yeah.
They were.
Yeah, but
I'm
they don't
kind of
belong.
shocked.
They don't belong in the conversation with Alabama, with Ohio State, and Clemson. So it doesn't matter whether we're talking about Coastal Carolina or Cincinnati or any of these other teams or Georgia. I always love how we try to prop up Georgia and Alabama. Every year they try to do that, and it's like, come on, man.
Every time we do, we set them up on a pedestal for them to fall off of.
Right, because Georgia's a choker. That's all they've ever done for the last 20 years. Choking dogs, dude.
And you got to give Notre Dame held Alabama to 31. I think that's the first time in 24 games they're under 35. So, and that was the record. A team scoring 35 or more, 24 games in a row, Notre Dame stopped it. So, yeah, and I think a lot of people lost money because that line was supposedly 20 or 19 and a half. That last little touchdown was made it a 17
No, I think it was
game.
14 and a half.
No. I know that it was 20 or 19 and a half.
You sure?
Yep. Yeah, because I got a couple friends that are habitual gamblers.
Oh, yeah, no, it was 20 and a half.
Yeah.
It was 20 and a half. Over and under was 66 and a half. Alabama was minus 1,300 in the money line in that game.
What'd you think about Fields yesterday?
Well, I was going to address that. Yesterday, I thought a lot happened for the Miami Dolphins. Yesterday, Justin Fields was amazing. Threw 6 touchdowns and an interception. The kid threw 385 yards, also rushed for 42 also. Took a hit, a helmet to the kidneys, right? I think that's where he got hit, right? Isn't that? I'm not a doctor. I didn't sleep at a Holiday Inn last night, but I think it's the kidney shot, right?
That would be, yes. And his own fault. You don't turn your back when you're about to come into contact.
It's not that, dude, because you have to think of it's human nature. You're a quarterback, right? So you don't want to hurt your face, your hands, whatever. So you turn around and try to take the brunt of the hit, thinking that that's the better way of doing it. Just like receivers or whatever in the middle of the field, they drop down to curl up and protect themselves. But by dropping down, they're actually coming at the level of the helmet. So that's why we have helmet. And it's not the defender's fault. It's not the receiver's fault, because it's just human nature what you do to curl yourself up to protect yourself. So I kind of understand what he was doing. After, he probably thought it was a bad idea, but he's figuring, I'm a quarterback. I can't hurt my hands. I can't hurt my shoulder. I can't hurt my head. Let me turn this way to try to take and boom. But kid stayed in, threw some bombs that were beautiful. And I got to tell you, if you're a Dolphins fan, you got to be really happy about this, because Lawrence goes 1, Fields will go to the Jets, and you get Penei Sewell at number 3. And I know what's coming. Oh, we need weapons. Weapons will be there all throughout the first, second rounds, third rounds of the draft. You have multiple picks. You'll be able to pick your receiver. It's not – I keep telling people, look at the draft this past year. The guys that were picked early aren't your leading receivers as rookie receivers. Justin Jefferson was picked later on in the first round. So you really look at the draft, there's lots of receivers. You'll be able to pick one. Some of you make it sound like if you don't pick a receiver at 3, because I've gotten this on Twitter already, and it's the silliest thing in the world. Oh, no. Oh, we got to get the receiver there. Well, why? You could get a game-changing offensive lineman tackle. Why? Because it's not sexy to you? Because you don't understand the game? You draft. What did I say about Tua all throughout the offseason? I said, you draft him and build the wall of Montezuma in front of him. Did I not say that?
Got to protect the kid.
But I said that over and over again all throughout the offseason. Draft a kid, build the wall of Montezuma. They drafted 3 linemen this year. They drafted 1 last year. And you draft Penei Sewell now, you're set. You're set. So, and you know what you do with Penei Sewell? You put him at right tackle. Because Tua's left-handed. So you get your mammoth, it's
blindside,
this
baby.
This is one of those 1 in every 15-year type tackles. Just a mammoth human being that you can't get around, and everybody looks tiny around him. You know that guy. It's what's it called? And I'm now brain farting with great linemen now, but
like Anthony Munoz,
like guys like that. It's just these kind of cats that they come every once in a while. He's considered one of those. So draft that guy. You move Robert Hunt into guard. You keep Austin Jackson at left tackle, because in this offense, he's really a right tackle. And Penei in this offense is really the left tackle, because when you have a left-handed quarterback, that's what you need. And so all of a sudden now your line becomes just mammoth, dude. And you're going to be able to push people around. Tua's going to have all the time in the world to sit back there and pick people apart. That's what you want. You're going to keep them clean, because you're not going to be able to get by that guy. And then if you ever need a double team, it'll be on Jackson's side, because Penei not going to need it. So last night that is, was an enormous night for the Miami Dolphins, because if you're the Jets, you have to take Justin Fields. You have no choice. Now, you could take Penei Sewell and say Sam Darnold is our guy. Fine. Now, if you're the Dolphins, you take Justin Fields and trade him. And you trade him for a whole bunch of picks. The team let me see, I can look right now at the draft order, and you may not even have to actually fall too far down in the draft to end up getting a guy. Let's see, here it is. Here's the order right now. So let's say you trade down, right? You could trade down to Detroit. They're probably going to let Matt Stafford go. You could get Detroit's pick at 7, still get your receiver, and then get other picks from them, obviously, and maybe even next year's pick from them. The Giants won't need a quarterback. Carolina at 9 needs a quarterback badly. You could trade him to them, and at 9, you're going to have a receiver there. The next one would be Minnesota at 13, because Chargers, Dallas, and Denver aren't taking quarterbacks. Then you got Minnesota. Minnesota is probably going to fire their coach. I'm not sure if the GM Spielman might survive. He might be able to bring in another head coach. But I think Zimmer's got to go. Zimmer's got this hot piece of ass at home, and you could tell that team's lost its edge, and so has him. That guy's lost it. I mean, he's just thinking of that blonde, which I don't blame him. Seriously, at his age, if he's getting laid like that, it's a lot more important than football. So you start looking, there'll be options for them to trade Fields, and people will be giving you a ton of picks. So that keeps the cycle going for Miami, if you want. I'm not one of those guys that's going to sit here and start telling you, oh, no, you've got to get the receiver right there at number 3. There's a lot of receivers, man. Okay? From Smith to Chase, the Justin Ross kid also from Clemson, Waddle from Alabama, Moore from Purdue. He just declared, by the way. So he's in. Terrence Marshall from LSU, another guy that declared. Rashad Bateman from Minnesota, the junior, also declared. Let's see, who else did I know here? Oh, the Ty Wallace kid. You just saw him from Oklahoma State. There's a lot of players at the wide receiver position in this draft that you don't have to reach for the first guy. I know. I like Devonta Smith too. I get it. He's super dynamic. But you've got to build the inside out if you're the Dolphins. And we went through so many years of not having a great offensive line. You have an opportunity now to build a line that will make everything on offense better. Everything. You know, Omar Kelly did a very interesting study. Did you guys know that Myles Gaskin was the 9th most productive player on offense in the NFL? Let me repeat that again. Okay? Myles Gaskin is the 9th most productive offensive player in the NFL.
I believe 99 yards, right?
Yep, 99 yards per game. It's a 7th-round pick.
That's pretty damn good drafting going on there.
Okay? That's a 7th-round pick. 9th most productive player. Skill positions. Of course, quarterbacks are never, it's two different things. But out of all the skill positions, all the tight ends, all the wide receivers, all the running backs, dude's number 9. That's crazy.
You know, it's one of the things I was thinking. If Fields gets to us, that means the Panay kid went to the Jets. You know what my thinking is that I love?
But you know what?
That means they believe in Sam Darnold.
Well, but yes, but again, kind of like what I want to do here. They drafted Mekhi Becton. So if they get Panay, holy crap. Now they've got two, like they
got two moving walls.
They have their own human Twin Towers, is what they are. Because those are two ginormous human beings. I mean, mammoth, bro. Those two guys will never need double teams. That's how I think 166, 167, something like that. It's just crazy. So if they do that and they believe in Sam Darnold, that will make Sam Darnold better. Just having those two guys, because you can't get around them. So I understand, even though I was never a Sam Darnold guy. I've been on record with that for several years. I did not like him being a turnover machine at USC. So I was off. I'm pretty consistent. If you're not accurate or you're a turnover machine, I don't want any more often than not. And I know Josh Allen's the one outlier that's made me like completely kind of second guess my philosophy, but I'll kind of stay with my philosophy until I'm proven wrong several times. Because what Josh Allen did, I've never seen this. I've never seen this, ever. And Sam Darnold has not proven to not be a turnover machine in the NFL. So, I'm just not, but I understand if they do it, because I want from Miami, I mean, think about the 70s teams. What is it you always talk about besides Zonka Kick and Morris? You always talk about the damn offensive line.
Everybody could pull, man, and get outside and just mow people down.
It's just talking about Kuchenberg, and it's talking about Larry Little and Newman, right? And
Jim Langer.
And I mean, are you kidding me? What's up, baby? Happy New Year. So, Pat Nasto in the house, baby. And so I want to get back to having a great, great offensive line. Okay? I think it's really cool. Like, Marino had a great left side. He didn't have a great line. He had a great left side. And then after Shula, they never had another left, right, whatever. They never had another line again. They had a guy here, a guy there, whatever, but never. It's been like that for well over 20 years now. But if you can get Penei Sewell to go along with all those other guys, that's what's going to make you great, man. Myles Gaskin is the 9th most productive offensive player in the NFL with that line. Wait till all that line grows up and develops. Oh, man. Not whether it's Myles or whoever the running back is or running backs, they're going to love running behind those guys.
We say it a lot. As your O-line goes,
Yep.
your offense goes.
And Lord knows that we've been terrible at it for a while. Let's see. What else do we have here on the chat board? Omar is my guy, but he wants an elite O-line with 3, knowing his age and knee issues, for their number 2 and 32nd pick. Let me ask you something, Caples for life. Who told you the Jets are going to give you the 2nd and 32nd pick? I love how you guys play like this fantasy trades. Like, no, we'll trade X, and then the Jets will give us their 2nd and 32nd pick, and they'll also give us all their daughters, too, at the same time. It's like, where do you guys pull this stuff out of your ass? Like, none of this makes any sense whatsoever. Why would the Jets trade for X? That, makes no sense at all. But why? Oh, because you say so? That's the problem with talking about these silly-ass, funky trades you guys come up with that make no sense whatsoever. But hey, listen, we'll give them, okay? And they're going to give us Alvin Kamara. They're also going to give us Cam Jordan, 3 first-rounders, okay? And we're also going to get Drew Brees to actually teach Tua how to play the game. They'll give us all that for X. Yeah, let's go. Let's wait for it. Let's see. What else do we have here? Mauricio says, Big O and Bill, Happy New Year. Do you remember when I said if we go 11-5 when Tua was named starter, I believe we could get to the AFC Championship game? First true test this weekend. No, we don't. Let's see what else do we have here. I'm going to remember all that. Julius305 says, great listening to you, Big O, with Finn's Talk on a Saturday afternoon. Thank you, sir.
You didn't put that important tidbit in the file cabinet that is your brain, bro.
Yeah.
You didn't realize?
Yeah. Miami couldn't trade with Atlanta at 4 now and still get Sewell. I'm not sure about that. Big O, that's crazy. I would not draft Justin Fields. If we are the Finns, that's a waste. You can draft Micah Parsons, wide receiver. Forget drafting Fields and trading him. Nope. I mean, I would. Give a hell of a lot more picks. Hell yeah, I would.
On top of it, I don't think we'll have to slide back that far, right?
No.
Like you said, so what is it, 7, 9, 13,
if they're looking for a quarterback and they're willing to give up, those are the early options right now.
That would be sweet.
Yep. So Sewell at 3 for Tua's protection. Then at wide receiver, our regular pick. When and who for running back after that. I posted something on Finn's fullback page, Facebook page, saying, I like Etienne, and they brutally attacked me. Etienne's awesome. I love Etienne. I would like to see him there.
Did it make sense him having problems with cramps, playing indoors last night? That was a little bit.
By the way, I think this is Rob in Hollywood. Rob in Hollywood, you're about this close to getting blocked out of the chat board. Okay, buddy? This is not your chat board, so stop posting 4,000 things. Okay? Ask your question, comment, and move on. You're not here to dominate it. We can easily block you and end it. Just so you'll know. Okay? When you start becoming annoying on this chat board, we block you. So slow way down, brother. Post every once in a while. This is not your chat board.
That's it? You're not totally ripped? God, man. There's a bunch of them very disappointed.
I've seen Rob in Hollywood for many years now. He's one of those, he's a /chronic/ troll.
Is he as bad as that guy, Manny?
He could be.
Oh, he's on the verge.
Yeah. All right, let's see if I see one more, because he's posted 3 of the last 4. If one more comes up, if he has one more post the show, I will block him. Okay? That's what we'll do. Fins up, Big O. I still can't believe we have the 3rd pick in the draft. Greer must be pinching himself. Well, Greer should be winning Executive of the Year, brother. Okay? That's what he should be doing. Steven says, the only thing better than listening to Big O on a Saturday will be listening to Big O on Dolphins Wildcard Weekend next weekend. Yeah! I'm with you.
I like the way that guy thinks.
Yes. Steven was here last week with his son visiting us.
Oh, yes. Chicago, right? From Chicago, correct?
Is it Chicago?
I believe it is.
Isn't it the Carolinas? Or is it Chicago? Steven, I'm confused. Is it you guys are in the Carolinas or in Chicago?
Maybe they were from Chicago. I know because they were talking about me being a Bear fan, and yeah.
Yep. Okay. Oh, well. That's it. Guess who's gone now?
Oh, really? He posted another?
Yeah, well, yep.
That's like Kevin Bacon. Thank you, please, may I have another?
It's gone now. Now you don't get to post anymore. I think sometimes some of them think that I'm kidding around, and they think I'm joking around, and then they don't realize that when they do get blocked, that's it. They can't interact
They're
anymore.
just like a little child. They just got to try one more time.
Right, just keep going. And Rob's that guy that wants to professionally be annoying. Like I told you, he is Rob in Hollywood has been a chronic on sports shows forever in South Florida. And so he's kind of a chronic / troll. And
you squash them like a bug.
Yeah, there'll be no more of that here.
You know what stinks? This segment, probably to finish up this hour, because we are at exactly 59 minutes and blah, blah seconds.
Yep.
It's a semi-ripping by because you didn't give him the full brunt.
Because Rob in Hollywood is not really a bad dude. He's just professionally annoying.
He's incapable of controlling himself.
Yes, that's actually
spins out of control.
Dude, that's actually the perfect description of Rob. He is incapable of controlling himself. So we will control him we'll do the controlling for him. And there you go. Man of
Training wheels are on.
Man of 1,005 holes goes, I warned him.
So we got a semi-ripping to finish up the first hour.
Yeah. And Rob, don't bother opening up another account, because if you do that and then you just become annoying again, it gets blocked also. We had one loser do that also. You guys remember that? We had one loser that kept being an annoyance, and then we blocked him, And so what did he do? He went and opened another account. And then he came back to be annoying again and got blocked again. And that's it.
You know, let me just say, this curtailing thing that you do here and control, you remember the Big O hose?
Oh, yeah, they got blocked.
And you notice they haven't come back.
They never came back.
They did it twice. You shut them down, and they just got demoralized.
Because once you block somebody, then they have to go out and get another email account to open another account and all, and it's a pain in the ass. So, like that one guy did it the second time and then got blocked right away, and it's like, oh, wow, what am I going to do? Find another email? And so it just becomes,
waste 30 minutes for 1 minute of getting a text in.
Yeah. And it's like Ian from Brooklyn or Derek or Dan Mix or the dude or any of these folks here that are on. They're on all the time. Steven DeFilippis, he's on all the time. None of them are annoying. They're all good people. They all talk. They agree. They disagree. They say their point. They move on. But they don't try to dominate the whole thing. Right? And that's what some of these guys, they come in, and usually they're all guys, right? Hasn't been a girl yet. Never a woman. It's always guys. And then they come in and they want to, like, make the chat board their own. And the chat board is for everybody. So when all of a sudden you think you're going to be, dominating and insulting people or the host or whatever, you're out of here, bro. You're done.
People were looking for a full ripping, not a semi-ripping, but they'll take it.
I'm with you, Richard. He says Hank Goldberg's left nut is still missing. Haven't seen him. Steven says main home is Chicago, suburbs, but also have a condo in Hallandale, so it is Chicago. There you go. I was thinking of another listener that's in the Carolinas, so now that's where I got him and Steven confused.
Isn't it the one in Asheville? Is that who you're thinking?
That's Pat in Asheville.
Pat in Asheville.
No, I'm saying there's another listener that comes in from town.
That comes in and
the
says hello, makes an appearance.
And comes with his son also. So that's why I'm trying to remember who that is. So Steven is Chicago, and I'm trying to remember who's the other listener that comes in from the Carolinas. I know that. Let's see, what else do we have here? The dude says all they have to do is restructure X's contract and give him a little more money guaranteed. Simple. We have the money to do it. I would not give him any extra money. Let me ask you something, the dude. Did X give back the money last year when he was out all year? Just wondering. Because he made the same amount of money for nothing last year. He got to rehab and got paid for rehabbing. And the Dolphins were thoroughly embarrassed because he was involved in a domestic situation. So did he give back that money? I'm just wondering. Walk me through that one. So why should the team give him more money now? I don't get that one. It's weird. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. We got more things to talk about. Heat. A little Dolphins, a little music, actually maybe a funny story or two we might have.
We have Flo from yesterday.
Oh, we have Flo too. So we got a bunch of things to do here in hour number 2. Coming to you live, of course, from, let's see, Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. Come on out here and join us. We'll be out here easily at least.
About that time?
About that time.
Okay. You're back to being normal.
Back with more right here on the Big O Show.
Hey, it's Big O for all of your family dental needs. Please reach out to Moody's Dental. I've known Eric for a while, a big fan of our show. Call him at 305-821-0231. Whether it's you or your kids that need some dental help, whether it's implants, Invisaligns, they are the experts. Or if you're just looking to fill a cavity or clean your teeth, or maybe even get a crown, you are going to love the professionalism, the family-like atmosphere. And of course, when you talk about being clean, that's That's what it's all about in today's society. You are going to go to an extremely clean place. Go to moodiusdental.com. Go to the website. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Moodius Dental. Tell them that Big O sent you. 305-821-0231 or go to moodiusdental.com.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com. A travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to peer, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
Hey, it's Big O for all of your CBD, THC, or hookah needs. You got to get on down to VSS West Pines at 12397 Pembroke Road. Yes, they have got legal THC. You've got to check it out. And they've got, of course, when it comes to CBD, flower, tinctures, edibles, for all kinds of reasons, whether it's pain, stress, anxiety, you name it. And don't forget my name, you'll get 20% off. Tell the boys out there that I told you to get on down to VSS West Pines, 12397 Pembroke Road, and call them 954-613-3367. Legal THC, CBD, all of your hookah needs. You go to VSS West Pines.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Alrighty.
Compliment you on your facial mask there, bro.
Little Queensryche.
Haven't seen that one. It's new, right?
No, I've had this one. I guess I haven't worn it.
Not at all.
Well, maybe not here, but, you know.
Yes.
I usually use 2 masks a day. Like, I'll use one on onside.
You have that mini mask.
And then, yeah, because I don't want to use the same mask all day, bro. That's nasty. You spin on the same mask all day? Yeah, no, I just feel like.
Well, see, you're doing a full 8-9 hours of talking with the two when you do the double hit.
Right.
So, yeah, I only do the one here, so
Right.
I'm not pronunciating
plus
and everything.
Yeah,
know.
right. Plus I'm constantly talking, so it's just one of those that I just feel like when I get in my car and I take off my mask, I'm like, okay, if the next mask I put on, it's got to be a fresh one. So I'll put on a fresh one. And so I usually dirty 2 a day.
With all this talking, can we call you a jabbermouth, maybe?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And it would be acceptable?
A jabba-jaw. Gotcha. Big O. Big O is bang on regarding wide receiver talent in the NFL. Adams, Diggs, Hopkins, Jefferson were all late rounders. None were selected in the top 10 of the first round. Finns are in great shape. That's right, Sam, because they know how to draft. Miami will be playing for their playoff lives. Could get ugly. Jay Wash, why you got to do that, bro? Why you got to say it's going to get ugly? Why don't you say it's going to be pretty? Why don't you say the Dolphins are going to come through with the performance of a lifetime? We're going to put X on Diggs and move him around with Diggs everywhere he goes, and Byron will go opposite of him, and it's over. We're going to shut down Diggs. He's not going to be taking it out on Noah like he did the first time around. It's not going to be a rookie in place anymore. It'll be X. So I'll put X on his ass the entire time, take him out of the damn game, and let's force Josh Allen into making some really good plays, or if not, some mistakes.
Do me a favor.
I think Miami's got a shot, man.
Do me a favor right now. Elaborate. What would be the formula? A couple turnovers.
Oh, for sure.
Keeping Allen under 30, 40 yards rushing. Winning third. What's the formula you see tomorrow? The Dolphins being able to get a W.
For me, for the Dolphins, I would have X on Diggs the entire time. There's no Cole Beasley, so that makes your slot defense a lot easier. But that's what I would do. And then obviously try to keep Josh Allen inside that pocket with a, as they say, disciplined pass rush.
So your DNs need to contain the outside, keep him in between the tackles.
Yes. That's what I would do, man. I would control the pass rush, make sure he doesn't get out and run around, and try to not allow Diggs to beat you badly. And if you do that, remember, Diggs killed them, and they won by 3. Okay? They won by 3. So Miami's a better team now than they were then. Even with injuries and everything, they're a better team now. I just think Miami has a shot in this game. I really do.
Maybe get 140, 150 yards, control the time of clock, right? Keep their offense off the field.
Got to score, bro. That's the bottom line.
What are you thinking? 28 points,
Easy.
31?
I think you're going to have to be up there. No, I don't know if you'll get that high because I think both defenses are going to play pretty tough tomorrow.
So upper 20s, lower 30s.
Yeah.
You got a good shot.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's see. Big O, Richard says, hard to question any decision this Dolphin regime makes. Exactly. They've earned that right now. McDermott knows Miami has a tough and physical defense that blitzes a lot. Why compromise players when you're heading into the playoffs if you are him? The number 2 seed, my brother. The number 2 seed guarantees you will not see Kansas City until the AFC Championship game. If you get a lower seed, you will run into them in the next round. That's not a good thing. You don't want to do that if you're Buffalo. You want to wait till the AFC Champ game. Why? What happens if KC gets surprised in the second round by somebody else? And then Buffalo has what? Home field all the way through the AFC. So, yeah, you got to play for the second. You got to get the second seed if you're Buffalo. So they will play. Happy Saturday, everybody. Good afternoon, Big O and Mr. Preston. Make most of this day. Guide us all we do today. Man, everybody has been blessed. Everybody have a blessed day. Go Fins, Rosendo says.
You know what is awesome, man? I have to say.
Yes.
Next week, Saturday and Sunday, we have 2 triple-header playoff NFL days.
Yep.
That is awesome.
Yeah, and we're off next Saturday, so that's good. Ken Sean West says, Big O, year 2, second youngest team with Panay at 3 and Creed at center at 23 and 72 Tyler Shelvin at defensive tackle, and at 188 Trace Summon at running back. We are not top 3. We are not top 3 most physical team after just those picks. I always say Brady got protection, so he was upright. Pressure up the middle affected Brady and will affect any new O-line year 2. It's become physical on that side of the ball. That's why they got to load up with linemen, bro. You know? So, yes, Joe, I do think they play. Big O. A good solid first quarter of creative blitzes on Josh Allen and hits might make Bills reconsider his longevity tomorrow by the second quarter. If CBs can hold, they win versus Diggs. We see Barkley in quarter 2. I don't think we see Barkley to the second half, man. But maybe if they're hitting him up like you said, maybe that speeds it up a little bit. That would be nice. I'll tell you that. That would be very cool. John Rouse is in the house. He said, trade X's ass. Get another first-round pick. He's getting older anyway. And also it's the knee. We don't know what that knee is. You know? That knee is That knee could be pretty bad, too, down the line. Dennis Aker says, Happy New Year, Big O and Bill. I just wanted to share my wonderful wife got me an autographed Tua jersey for Christmas. I am super excited. Let's go, Fins. Nice. Very nice. Sam says, longtime listener from Toronto, Canada. Keep up the great work. I've been a 25-year Dolphin fan. It's been a long time since I've been this excited about a Fins team. And you should be excited, my brother. Radically says, can Preston Williams be brought back from the IR in the playoffs, or is he done for the year by rule now? No, he can be brought back. I just don't think he's going to be brought back because it looks like that injury was pretty serious. Okay? Folks, don't forget to like, rate, review the podcast. It's very important. Okay? See, 79 people are listening and watching right now. It is, you want to give us a nice present, rate and review. Okay? Really important. It's good for, getting traction and stuff like that and help us grow. So rate and review if you can. Not only give us the thumbs up, but if you can rate and review and listen, if you can ever share with people, especially fellow Dolphins out there or Heat fans or Marlins fans, Panther fans, Canes fans, do it. Okay? Radically says, I saw a report that said the Bills were selling out their stadium. Radically, you don't read the articles. The sellout is 6,000, sir. Oh man, some of you out there, you got to read. It says sellout on the headline, but headlines don't tell you the whole story. That is so American. It's amazing. Okay, that is so American. People that read the headlines and they think the headline is the actual story, but they actually don't then click and read the headline. Cuomo, the governor for New York, approved I think it was 6,000 something. It came out a couple days ago. I had that note. Where do I have it? Let me see where it's at. I know I have it somewhere. Let's see if I could just find it quickly here. But yeah, it's 6,000 something. It's not a real sellout. It's called a sellout, but that's because they only had 6,000 tickets available, so they sold it out quickly, But it's not a literal sellout of, 70,000 people. Joe Hayden, by the way, has tested positive for COVID-19. So the Steelers will be without their cornerback, Joe Hayden. Where is it here? Here it is. Bills playoff game, 6,200 tickets sold out. Playoff game, home playoff game in a quarter century. Only about 6,200 tickets are available for hosting next weekend, so it's unsurprising that those tickets sold fast. Within 24 hours, New York State announcing that it would allow the Bills to move forward with a plan of a maximum of 6,700 people in the stands for their playoff game. The Bills announced that the game is sold out. Those in the stands will include about 6,200 season ticket holders and 500 guests of the team and players. Okay? So it's not a sold-out stadium. Radically, I am now learning that you are kind of lazy. But we love you. We love you.
That was barely a rip.
Oh, I can't rip Radically. I love the guy.
I know.
He's a good dude.
I'm messing.
He's on all the time.
I know. I'm messing with you.
But we got to mess with him. You know what I mean? Because he fell.
Oh, dude, you're not letting nobody slide.
He fell for the headline. See? Bills playoff game sells out quickly. So Radically sees that, and he goes, oh, man, the Bills got 70,000 in there. He doesn't bother to click in. He just reads the headline.
Here, U2 is jealous how fast they sold tickets, right? Like a U2 concert.
Exactly. Yes. But Radically, you're not alone, my brother. There's lots of people that do the same thing. Okay? They just never really take the time. Go Dolphins, win or lose. I want to play the Bills at their best. They are the champs. If you want to be the best in the division, you have to beat the best. I agree. I actually love the fact. I hope the Bills play all their guys the whole game, and I hope Miami beats them. You know what I mean? So that would be awesome. The way COVID's affecting the NFL, what happens in playoffs when outbreaks hit a team? They're screwed, bro. They're screwed. That's why when I started the show, we talked about Alvin Kamara, and I said, you can't be stupid. You got to be smart, man. You got to be extremely smart here. Do things the right way. If not, 2021 will be just like 2020. We'll keep screwing everything over and screwing ourselves over in the process, you know? So I just wish people would be a little bit more patient in the whole deal. Dolphins lose to The Heat lose to the Mavs last night, 93-83, and I'm gonna kind of piggyback what I said earlier from the Milwaukee first matchup. They're 2-3. It's the beginning of the season. They're figuring everything out now. And that's one part of it. There are two other parts to this equation that's going on with the Heat now that I'm thinking about. One, even though we got a lot of young guys, these guys might be still a little burnt out from the bubble, and they're still trying to get back into a regular season groove, and so they're there. And then the third part of the equation, you know how they say that when you win the championship, the next year, everybody's going to give you their best. Well, I believe that if you just make the championship game, like the Miami Heat did, I think you're also going to get everybody's best. And I think a lot of people are looking at this Heat team and saying, they represented our league in the NBA Finals. We gotta make sure that we, play our best. And I think teams are also going to get up for the Heat in all of this. So it's going to be a nice little challenge for Miami to get going. Look, Jimmy Butler came back last night, shot 0 of 6. Obviously, Stella did not find her groove. You know what I'm saying? So Jimmy still needs a little bit more. Precious actually played a decent game. Dragon didn't shoot well, shot 0 of 6 from three-point range. Avery Bradley played well. Duncan was terrible. He was 1 of 8 from three-point range. It's hard to win like that. Bam is the guy that I am amazed at how consistent Bam Adebayo is. 19 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 steals yesterday. I thought Tyler Hero didn't shoot enough yesterday. Tyler needs to shoot more, But Doncic was awesome. Just one of those games where you can tell that they're not themselves right now, that they haven't gotten there yet. And they've got a little bit to go. But Monday they'll take on Oklahoma City. Great opportunity to go back to 3-3. Give them some time. Like I told you, I need to see weeks of struggles, and then maybe I'll be a little concerned. James Sumler giving us a little love on the Super Chat. James says, thanks for being the calm voice. Big old Dolphin fans seem to forget we are still rebuilding. You know what's funny, James, is that now I'm viewed as the calm voice, right? But for like 20 years, while the Dolphins were a pure embarrassment and a joke and, just disgusting is what they were for 20 years, I got labeled as the hater, the guy that, I'm going overboard and I'm criticizing the Dolphins when they don't deserve that much criticism and all that stuff. And it was one of those things where it's funny because, I'm only being honest when they suck, and I'm only being honest when they're winning. And I'm only being honest if I don't think they have a good GM. I'm only being honest if I think they have a great GM. I'm only being honest if they have a terrible coach in Cam Cameron or whoever they've had here over the years, Philbin and all the other deadbeats, or Flo. I'm still the same guy. Nothing's changed. The University of Miami football team's a joke. I've been slamming them for a while now. What do you want me to do? What have they done? What have they accomplished? Nothing. They were what the Dolphins have been for a long time now, for over 15 years. So really nothing's changed. It's just you get what you deserve on our show. You know what I mean? It's funny, but it's like, okay, so I'm the calm voice now, but I'm not the calm voice. I'm just the realistic voice. That's all. At least I think. Obviously, I'm not going to be right every time. I'm going to be wrong a lot of times too. You know what I mean? But anyway, thank you very much, James. Very nice of you, man. Let's see. I also think that risk reward for playing starters 4 quarters to secure the number 2 is a good move for the Bills. You could go hard for 4 Qs, beat Finns, lose a few players, and still end up playing Ravens in round 1. Kaimani throws in the super chat. There we go. You see that Rosendo crazy? I didn't see the Rosendo. What did I say? Rosendo goes, Rob, you need to give your stimulus check to O to be allowed back in. Hey, we got our stimulus check. What was it, yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. You guys get yours? I got mine yesterday. I was looking at the account like, whoa, we're $600 richer. Yeah, let's retire. Big O, re-sign Fitz or draft a QB early to back up Tua. Well, Anthony, you cannot pick a young quarterback to back up Tua. That would be unfair because then you draft a young QB, but you bring back Fitz. I wouldn't mind that. But I think they'll draft a young QB next year, not this year. I think this year they're going to focus on finishing out the team and trying to get all the things that they need, a center, a free safety, another pass rusher, receivers, because I think you got to get 2, one early and one later or middle, another DB maybe. What else? Oh, running backs. Definitely got to get a running back. They have like 12 picks, right, or something like that. They have plenty of picks, but I think they got to work on some of the things that they need. I don't think they'll get a young QB this year. I think next year they'll take a stab at that. I would like to bring Fitz back one more year. Okay? LOL, people definitely called Orlando negative for telling the truth all those years. Oh, yeah. Yes, Kamani. Thank you, Kamani. Says, been following your career since the 90s. Very nice. Thank you, sir. Very blessed. Let's see what else we have here. Sam giving us a little love on the super chat. Sam, thank you very much. Very kind of you with the super chat. He says, best Dolphins talk around and gets me through my day. More than happy to contribute. Thank you, sir. Appreciate your contribution. As always needed. So very, very nice. Richard McLean says, the crazy Cuban you were referred to by some. Actually, that's Neil Rogers. Neil Rogers gave me the crazy Cuban label. Okay? Yes. Bless Neil. Rest in peace, sir. You are awesome. God, I love listening to Neil. Man, that was so awesome. I'm talking about like the real Neil. Not when the restrictions started and all that stuff. And like the last, I don't know, what was it, maybe 7, 8, 9 years of Neil's show. It wasn't the same show that it was, I don't know, 20 years prior, I want to say at least. Because I think he made it to 30 years in radio here in this town. A little over 30. I don't know what it was. I'd have to look it up. But like the first 20 years, oh my God. Oh, my God. Best radio show I ever heard in my life. Not a sports show. He knew sport. That's the thing about Neil, too. While Neil talked about everything, if he felt like talking about sports, he could run rings around most people because he knew his sports. But he was everything else. I love Neil Rogers, man. Had just, many people that inspired me to get in this business. I always say Ed Kaplan's number one because that was like my favorite talk show host of all time. And I do a completely different show than him, although he and I have the same hardcore love for sports. And obviously Hank was another one, but Neil, I learned a lot from Joe watching the business side of it. You know what I mean? And so Mandich too. I was blessed, man. I was blessed to come up at a time with a lot of, local legends in this town and kind of pick a little bit from everybody and try to use as much as you can. You never want to copy anybody because you want to be yourself. And that's what I've always been. I've always been myself. But I learned from a lot of people. And obviously, Neil's Neil, man. So, yeah, he's the one that gave me the Crazy Cuban label. And then others ran with it. Joe says, I respect Big O because he has been objective on the Marlins, even though he couldn't stand them. Oh, you mean the new Marlins you're talking about? Well, wait a minute. Hold on a second. All right. I have no problem with the Marlins now. Okay, once Loria left, that whole thing about I can't stand them, that went out the door. Okay? Now, I'm just being fair to Sherman and Jeter and giving them the benefit of the doubt and giving them an opportunity to prove themselves. That's all I'm really doing. I'm just being fair. With Loria, I used to defend Loria. I don't know how many of you guys remember this, but I defended Loria.
How long ago was that?
Inside the old stadium.
Okay.
Because this is what I always said about Loria. I said, well, he doesn't have the revenue stream because Huizinga's taking all the money from the suites and the parking and
everything,
and
beers.
Yeah. They were only getting a small percentage of everything.
Exactly.
So I always said, those of you, the one guy that said you followed me since the 90s, you'll remember I said this. I said, the day Loria gets his new stadium, the gloves are off. I always said that. Every time I said, hey, man, I understand what Loria's doing. He's limited. He's not a filthy rich owner that can throw away money. So you're not going to have that guy there. So he's got to make the money back somehow. He doesn't have the revenue streams. So I can't blame the guy for the limited payrolls and the things he's done while he was at that stadium. But I always said the second Loria got his stadium and he has all the revenue streams, gloves are off. Now you better spend. Now you better win. That's it. So Jeter and Sherman are now getting the out to build up the minors that were destroyed, develop talent, and then I got to see, are you willing to sign guys? Are you willing to keep a core around here for years to come? And then we'll find out. And then the gloves will be off. Same way. No different. That's all.
But as of right now, we're on board.
Yeah. You have to be.
Because there's been no reason
to
question.
You have to be fair. You have to give them an opportunity to straighten the mess out. They inherited all kinds of bad contracts. They had no minor leagues. We got to be honest. It's like the Dolphins.
Plus,
They're
the
young.
way they embraced us.
Let's give them time. Yes.
That opening day thing,
yes.
man. It's such a shame what transpired with this COVID and how it squashed baseball.
Yep, I agree. Let's see. What else do we have? Joe says, Big O, some hosts aren't willing to change stances. That's a gift. John Rouse says, oh, did you know Rick Shaw? I got to know Rick Shaw, the late, great Rick Shaw. It's funny because I'm done doing a Dolphin postgame show This was 20 years ago. Easy. And I'm sitting at the bar. I want to say, what's the name of that? Cafe Iguana. Yes, it was Cafe Iguana on Pembroke Pines. No, not on Pembroke Pines. It's on off of University and, yeah, it might have been close to Pines. If you guys remember that Cafe Iguana, somewhere in that area. So I'm in that Cafe Iguana. I even remember it was Cafe Iguana. And I'm done doing the Dolphin postgame show. And I go and sit at the bar because I'm finishing my food. I was hungry as hell, I remember. And I went to eat. And so while I'm relaxing, a dude comes and sits next to me. And I look to my right, the guy that sat next to me, and he's got his Kango on, right? Because I think that's what Rick Shaw wore. And I go, holy crap, that's Rick Shaw. Like right next to me. Like the whole bar was kind of, there were seats open, but he kind of sat right next to me. And I look over and I go, aren't you Rick Shaw? And he goes, yes, I am. And he goes, Big O, I wanted to tell you thank you. I always enjoy your Dolphin analysis. I think you do a great job. And I'm sitting there going, huh? What? Food's falling out of my mouth, and I'm drooling, and I'm just like nervous. I'm like, this guy even knows who the hell I am? This is Rick freaking Shaw, dude. So that was the first time I met him. And then I ran into him a couple of more times throughout the year at different media events, because he would show up at different events, but he'd show up to a lot of Dolphin events. And since I was at all the Dolphin events, especially when I was a beat guy, I would run into him. And so we got to know, I didn't know him well. You know, it was a hi and bye, was how you doing, a couple of words here or there, you know, just a minute or two of conversation, 3 minutes, whatever. But yes, I did get to know Rick Shaw, and it was just one of those things, you know. It was like I know footy well. I've introed Bill to footy, and the first time I met footy was at a Dolphin event, and he just walked up to me out of the blue and says, "Hey, I want to tell you, I love that you're honest and you tell it like it is." That's the same thing Rick said. Rick loved the honesty. You know, so it was just one of those deals. So, yes.
Whenever I think of Rick Shaw, I always see the England Den and John Ford Coley album, right? With the hat, that same look.
Yes.
And meeting footy was cool because I remembered Heine Wine, where the medley is medley. And,
Right.
Obviously being in the Springs right next door.
Yep.
That was actually cool the way he went into the whole story about that. That was awesome.
Yeah. Good people, man. Good people. Let's see. Richard says, is QAM still around? Signal so weak, can't tune in. Mandich was my favorite. QAM's, it's like on life support. It's got like one show left. Joe. Once Joe retires, they'll close down that station and they'll change the format. That's what's coming. But, yeah, it's what Intercom has done. But that's good. I want to thank Intercom because now Onside Radio will become the sports station in town. So it's all good. I appreciate it. And we'll be able to build a real sports station that local fans are going to really love at onsideradio.com. Robert says, what's up, Big O? Great job and show. I feel the Dolphins are playing inspired football for Fitz and themselves. Would this be considered a statement game, or is it too soon in the rebuild? It's a statement you can send to the Bills. Okay? Because you lost to them by 3 in the first game, and they took advantage of a rookie corner. You can beat them, and it doesn't send a message to the NFL that we're here to take over and all that, because they're not ready for that. But it sends a message to the Bills that as green as we are, as young as we are, we're knocking on the door already. So watch out, Buffalo. And you know, you got to send the message to Buffalo that, hey, I get it. You guys are the big dog right now, but we're right behind you, and here we come. So it could be a little message that you send to the Bills. That's it. Let's see. Oh, do you think we're big players in free agency? No. I think they'll do some, but not big. I don't think they'll ever be big in free agency. I don't think it's one of those things that they're going to be throwing all kinds of big money around. Last year was only one player, and it was Byron. All the other contracts aren't really anything that you could get out of them quickly. They're not anything that'll tie you down. The Byron Jones one, that's a big contract. That will tie you down, but he's a good player. Let's see what else. Jay Walsh says, MLB owners say they lose money, but they have never opened up their books for everybody to examine them. If you lose money, why buy an MLB team? The owners are smart businessmen. Yes, they are. John says, used to be Cool City, Sloppy Joe's before Cafe Iguana. I was a bouncer there. Good times. LOL. Okay. Yep. Okay. What did Robin Hollywood open more accounts?
He's back.
I think he did. I think he opened more accounts. I guess we're closing more accounts. It's kind of the way it goes, right? You open them, we'll close them. We're closers here. What happened? What? Oh, yes. Let's hear from Flo.
I got some stuff over here for you. Official stuff.
Hey, Flo addressed the media yesterday. Let's get the latest from Flo on the Dolphins getting ready for the Bills game. Go ahead, Bill. Fire away.
Oh, hold on.
There you go. 2 seconds. Give us a second here. He'll get it on.
Got to open up the Adobe, man.
Okay. All right. Not a problem. So it was University in Pines. Okay. I wasn't exactly, it was so long ago. I wasn't sure. It was in that shopping center across from Hooters, right? That's where it was?
We are ready for you, sir.
Go ahead. Fire away.
Hey, Flo. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Safi.
If Devontae is able to go on Sunday, it'd probably be a big opportunity for him, to help out offensively. How important is it for you guys to have him back and also as close to full strength as possible?
He's working hard to get back. We'll see how this goes. But, the guys we have out there, receiver, running backs, O-line, quarterback, we just got to put our best foot forward, have our best effort, best execution against a very good football team. So, the guys, whoever we have out there, we got to execute against a good football team.
Barry.
Hi, Brian. Happy New Year. You're always kind enough to tell us on Friday when we visit with you who's questionable, who's doubtful. Do you have that list as of yet for the 5 guys in question?
Jakeem Grant, Saul McKinley, Shaq Lawson, Devontae Parker, all questionable. Limited questionable today. And said there was another guy. Bobby was full, so he's good. He's good to go. Just 4 guys listed questionable. Happy New Year, Barry.
Omar.
We do all holidays, just so you know, because you all do all holidays. I wanted to ask you, Myles Gaskin, I crunched the numbers and it kind of blew my mind. He's like the 9th most productive offensive player in the league per game at 99.4 yards. What is it about his game that has allowed him to perk up in terms of productivity in the recent weeks?
I think he does a good job in the run game. Does a good job in the pass game. He runs well with the football. When you can play and on all 3 downs, you have more opportunities, and he's taking advantage of them when he's been available. And look, he's made a lot of improvement over the last 2 seasons, and hopefully we continue to make that improvement. Hopefully, we play our best as a team on Sunday.
Ruthie.
That's a great stat.
Well, obviously, just your reaction to the Fitz news and just kind of what it means to not even just have him out there on the sideline and him being, just such a huge part of this team, whether he's on the field or not this year.
Yeah, I was disappointed. And look, he's a big part of the team. Disappointed for him more than anything. I know how important this team is to him. But at the same time, we've dealt with adversity throughout the season, whether it's COVID, whether it's injury, whether it's, we've had guys out in multiple games. So, and recently, so we'll just push forward and, give our best effort on Sunday.
We'll take one more, Steve.
Ryan, how optimistic are you with the protocols you have in place that you've been able to isolate this with Ryan?
I think Kyle Johnston and our medical staff, they've done a tremendous job. I mean, he's all over everyone about masks and distancing, and we've taken every precaution. We follow the protocols, and as far as close contacts, we're in good shape from that standpoint. But I think just overall throughout this entire year, with the different changes from a protocol to going to intensive protocol as an entire league to, everything we do, bus rides, plane rides, meeting spaces, how we meet, how we can't meet. There's a lot of things that we're used to that, we haven't been able to do this particular season. And, a lot of that's under the direction or from the direction of the league and Kyle Johnston, honestly. He's a big part of this team and a big part of, that facet, obviously the medical part and injuries. I mean, that's nothing's more important than the health of the team. And Kyle does an incredible job. Kyle and Troy and Now and Boone and the whole Jasmine and the entire training staff. Look, we can't play if the guys aren't healthy. So, just like we can't practice if the field guys don't line the fields, and we can't, get our helmets and shoes and all that stuff. We can't play without the equipment. So everybody's important. And I think Kyle's done a great job. And a lot of what we've done from a protocol standpoint. And look, it's ongoing. Every night it's ongoing. So we'll hopefully continue to do as best we can, knowing and understanding, like we've said all year, that we can do everything right, and it's an airborne infection, so it's nobody's fault, and guys can still get it, which they have. Hopefully we've done everything we can, and I think Kyle's he spearheaded that.
There you go. That's the head coach as he gets his team ready for the Buffalo Bills tomorrow in Orchard Park at Bills Stadium. 6,700 Bills fans will be in attendance for the playoff game. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the same thing that they've had, so it'll be empty stadiums pretty much throughout the league. Maybe there'll be a couple of stadiums that have some fans, but I think the Bills are empty tomorrow. They're ready for their playoff game following week. That's when they'll have a whole bunch of folks in there. So there you go. It was funny because who was it? Richard goes, Flo, worst press conference of the 32 coaches, but maybe the best coach of the 32, Rex Ryan. And I'm like, well, Rich, Belichick's got 6 titles and he sucks at press conferences. So I hope Flo's press conference luck is the same way. Okay? Although I don't think his press conferences are nearly as bad as Belichick. I think Flo shows a human side to his press conferences. He's wishing the writers, a happy new year. He knows them by name. He addresses them like a decent human being. I kind of like Flo. I don't think they're that bad.
I like the one where come on, Omar, I know you want a question.
Right.
Come on, get involved, buddy.
Yeah.
And then the one about, how do you do your shopping at Christmas? Kind of like you,
Yeah.
Amazon. I go to the mall. I wear a mask. You probably don't wear a mask.
Right.
That was us. Come on, man.
Belichick doesn't
He's got a pulse, man. He's got a personality.
Yeah, Belichick thinks an Amazon is Gronk. He doesn't even know what Amazon is. He thinks maybe one of his linemen is an Amazon. He doesn't even know what Amazon is, and Flo does. I kind of like Flo because Flo is actually like a human being, dude. Like there's actual blood running through his veins. Like he has a heart. You know? The more I see of Flo, the more I like him as a human being, not just as a coach. Because I get the feel that he actually cares. He's not like Belichick is like a robot. You know, like there's no feelings, no sentiments, nothing. This guy walks the fine line of respect, but yet still shows that he's a human being. You know? I disagree with you. I kind of like Flo, man. You know? I mean, listen, what's the use in having a Rex Ryan press conference if it doesn't back up all the bravado? Right? Remember what we talked about before? Well, I don't think I did it here. Well, no, I did do it here also, and I think I did it on Onside. I told you guys already what Manny Diaz is to me, right? Any of you remember that? He's the Peanuts teacher. Wah, 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 wah. Because after that first year with all the bravado he had and everything, and he didn't live up to any of it, and then the last, you know, this last year, ever since, whatever he tells me, it's just hot air. Because I saw the same buffoonery this year. Teams that weren't prepared, teams committing stupid fouls, teams getting embarrassed in bowl games, in regular games, whatever. So Manny Diaz, to me, after being in love with the bravado as a defensive coordinator, being in love with his bravado year head coach, I've lost it all.
He's like a cheerleader. He's got pom-poms and this and that, but ultimately you don't do anything
There's no
in
substance.
the game. Yeah, you're
No
just
substance.
a sounder.
And it was a fun press conference. A Manny Diaz press conference used to be fun when it had bravado in it. You notice how he's tamed it down drastically from the first year, and because he got humbled, you know, and so what's you give me a great press conference, but you don't give me a great coach, you know. If you're going to talk the talk, you better walk it, man. And he doesn't walk it at all.
When you get neutered, you can't act like the big dog.
That's right. Wilson and Fields haven't played great. Helps Miami's position. I wouldn't trade a virus to Cincinnati. No deals with Cincy based on their attitude last year when we wanted Burrow. Cincy wants Sewell. Joe Tesori says, Big O, I think is gone from our team next year. That's an important member currently. God, I haven't even thought of that, dude. Joe, why do you want to think about stuff like that right now? You know there's like a playoff game tomorrow? It's not a playoff game, but it's almost playoff atmosphere. Do you really want to talk about negative stuff? Why do you want to torture yourself? I don't get that. I'm not doing that right now.
And it is a playoff game, actually, tomorrow. It is.
Yeah.
For all intents, it matters to them. It matters to us. That's playoff, baby.
I love how Richard says, did you ever deal with Nick Saban? So I guess Richard McClain is on this thing all the time. So I'm not sure, but I've already told the story here, and I told it on Onside. Yeah, I dealt with Nick Saban, and he
Automatic opening doors.
Yeah, he called me an asshole. So yeah.
The velvet rope to enter his room.
Yep. Yep. For one day, I was hammering Nick about. It was about disciplining a player that did something. I forgot what it was, and so he was dodging the question. So I kept following up on the question, and he did not want to answer. Okay. And so on his way out, he gets off the podium, and I'm in the room with the other reporters, and he looks at me and he goes, I know what you're trying to get me to say. I'm not going to say it. And I looked at him and I go, well, I got to ask the question, you know, and he walks away. And as he turns his back and walking away to the door, he says, asshole. Best part, I've told you this before, was the entire room acting like we were back in 4th grade. Ooh.
I was going to say, did everybody go, ooh?
Yes. 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 I started smiling and laughing because, you know, I obviously got to you. And so, like 5 minutes later, the PR director, Harvey Green, comes back and says, hey, Nick would like to talk to you in his office. So Harvey takes me up to his office. I cross the velvet rope. There's a velvet rope in front of his office, in his door. There's a hallway. Here's the door. Here's the hallway. There's a velvet rope that goes around. So he didn't want anybody walking directly in front of his door. So he made a velvet rope around it, so you'd have to walk around the velvet rope and keep going. He felt it was a distraction if he's sitting in his desk looking out his door and people would walk by. Okay? So he had a velvet rope. Seriously. Okay? And as I walk through the door, his desk is here. I walk through the door. I sit down in the chair in front of him. He grabs a garage door opener and goes, and the door behind me shuts. So automatically.
You can't escape.
So we had a conversation. He apologized about calling me an asshole. I told him, hey, look, I'm going to do my job. And my job is to ask you that question. You may not like it, but I'm going to ask you that question. And I told him, I'm going to do my job all year long, Nick. And I'm going to ask you questions that you may not like. But, I got to do what I got to do. You know? So, I just want you to know that I don't feel like that about the media. I want to work with you guys and this and that. And I could tell you everything that went on there. That was Harvey Green having incredible balls, because to correct Saban, it's got to take some balls. So Harvey said, you may not want to leave that situation like that. Right? One, the media will talk about it and it'll become something. Two, the guy you called an asshole, that guy's not going to back down. That guy's going to go on the air, tell the story, and now he's going to take it to another level. And the next time you're out in that press conference, he will bait you even more. I can guarantee you, I didn't hear the conversation, but Harvey Green knew me well enough. Look, the Dolphins, after a while.
Hold on, I gotta get it, because you were about to become like a boil on Nick Saban's ass, right? A big problem.
Yeah, basically. And so, look, the Dolphins with me over the years during their tenure of, of suckiness, they early on, they would call the station about me, talking about the coaches or whatever's going on. They would complain. But back then, early on, I had program directors that had spines. Like Josh Darrell, never. Duff Lindsay, Greg Reed, none of them ever, not one time, ever came to me to tell me what I should and should not say. Ever. Okay? Greg Reed would not have that. He knew that radio is a controversial form of media. It is what it is. You can't sit in radio and just talk about, players visiting a homeless shelter and talking about, isn't it nice, the halftime show, and just talking about stupid things that don't cause any kind of emotions. Radio is about stirring emotion. It's about making you think. It's about making you laugh. It's about pissing you off. There's all kinds of emotions that are played in radio. And if you can't do that, you can't do this job. And so once we got this, the wimp that's in there now, Len Weiner, Lion Len, once they got Lion Len in there, Lion Len had no balls whatsoever. So he tried to control what I wanted to say. And obviously there was no shot at that, So I think I've told you guys the story that he told me, why are you calling Whiteside a knucklehead? And I said he left a semi-automatic weapon, in his car. And the moron left the gun place to put the semi-automatic in his car and then walked back into the gun store. He should know that he's 7 foot tall. He's going to cause attention. They're going to watch a 7-foot man put in an automatic rifle. You have now opened yourself up for theft. So he is an idiot. And so he's like, well, we have a relationship with the team and this and the Heat have never ever said anything to me. The Heat and I've ripped the Heat many different ways for different little things because it's impossible to rip them as an organization because they're amazing. But when they make a mistake, I'll call it out. I'll call out Riley for Whiteside and Tyler Johnson and those stupid contracts. I call them out. But the Heat would never, ever call me about that. Do you know why? You know why? Because the Heat, unlike the old Dolphins and the current Miami Hurricanes, they're not sensitive. And if you're telling the truth, that's the best part about Pat Riley. Pat Riley doesn't care if the question's tough, as long as the question is right. And if you're right, they don't say anything to you in Miami, the Heat. Like, they're not going to tell you, hey, why are you picking on us for the Whiteside deal? They know they screwed up. You know what I mean? But the prior Dolphin regime was ultra-sensitive, dude. Ultra-sensitive. And, that's currently how it is with the Canes. Canes are incredibly sensitive. They cannot handle criticism at all. At all. It's terrible. So, yes, I've had my dealings. And you know what? I've been to the SEC Media Days 4 years straight. And I've had interviews with Nick Saban every year. Okay? Now, our interviews are awesome because there's nothing bad to say about Nick Saban. And you're talking about Alabama and everything going on, so we always talk about good things. You know what I'm saying? That's all. And he remembers me and everything, and we've been cordial with each other at the SEC Media Days. So yes, I have had my run-ins with Nick Saban. Manny J. Snow giving us a little love on the Super Chat. He says, checking in, Big O. Dolphins are going to the top soon, and you will have the best sports talk in Miami. QAM is just about done. Yeah, they're practically done. All of Intercom is pretty much done. Lisa, and thank you, Manny. Appreciate you, my man. Lisa Rose says, Cuomo will never allow that stadium to be filled. No tailgating either. Fans have to provide negative COVID test prior to the game temps on entry, then agree to contact tracing after. Lucky me.
I wonder if Lisa's going to the game because of the limited number of idiots, as she pointed out to us.
Well, she said lucky me.
Okay.
That sounds like she's going.
She's going.
Yeah.
You know what? When there's only 6,000 idiots as opposed to 60-something thousand, that's kind of an invitation, right?
Hey.
Hey, what?
Hey.
What?
There's 6,698 idiots.
Oh,
Lisa's going with a friend.
Okay.
Okay? Why are you insulting Lisa, bro? What the hell's wrong with you?
Sorry, Lisa.
I got you, Lisa. Okay? 6,600 idiots. Lisa and her friend are not the idiots.
Be careful. Have eyes in the back of your head.
I apologize for Bill, Lisa. I am sorry. He didn't do the math. Come on.
I'm only over here doing podcasts, bro, for the first hour. Sorry.
You're also insulting Lisa here.
I didn't mean to.
What is wrong with you?
I'm sorry. It's a hell of a way to start the new year. I'm sorry.
Lisa says, no, Bill, I am contact tracer on NYS task force. So you end up having to track the idiots. I got you. Okay. Rage and Dog Maniac says, Tua's going to live without tomorrow. Failure is not an option for him. I love it, man. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. It really is. I can't wait. Julia says, I'm starting a collection to get Big O a velvet rope for his show. Damn right. Yeah. Need that velvet rope to protect us. Keep all the people away. Keep us safe. Because, we got all these people that are dying to just jump us and get our autographs and everything. So, yes, we need it. Get us that rope.
Where are these people? I haven't seen these people. Where are they?
Oh, I love it. Don't forget, folks, to come on out here to Craig Zinn's, Acura Pembroke Pines. The boys will take care of you. They do a great job. Seriously, tell them that I sent you. Larry Schlossberg, Pat Nasto, Tony Stampone. They're all here, man. They're phenomenal, and there's a lot of movement, as always, here on weekends. This place is absolutely packed. It's at 150-601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 and Pines. Make sure you tell them that I sent you. They will definitely take care of you here at Craig Zinn's, Acura of Pembroke Pines.
Before you go any further,
yes,
we have this funny, hilarious Trevor Lawrence stuff over here waiting for you, sir.
Yes. Yesterday, did you guys catch this? So, the age of 2020 now, or 2021 in this case, we have Zoom press conferences, right? So here's the folks, before we leave you, we're going to leave you with this. So there's a reporter commenting on Trevor Lawrence, but she had no idea that her mic was hot. Go ahead.
A really good game.
So Trevor needs to shave his stash. Please mute if you're not speaking.
Thank you. But, a really good game.
So Trevor needs to shave his stash. Please mute if you're not.
You gotta know that you gotta mute your mic. And she didn't mute her mic, and she was saying that Trevor had to trim his mustache, had to cut it off. It didn't look good because it's one of those mustaches. Like, if you can't grow a full beard or mustache and you got patches,
peach fuzz, man.
Yeah, you shouldn't really be.
Plus, if you shave, it comes in thicker, man. Come on. You got that silly little thing. It's like, dude, you got dirt on your under your
basically
nose,
is what
man.
It looks like. Yeah, that's basically what it looks like. So what's your prediction for tomorrow?
You know what? I think. Look, we need to get at least 2 to 3 turnovers. Us not make mistakes. Keep Allen in no more than 30, 40 yards max. And probably have about 140 minimum on the ground. And of course, Tua be the efficient quarterback that he is, man. And we have if all those things come into play, we have a shot. The only thing that's bothering me, honestly, we've been in this situation. How many times have we played the Jets? It's just the Bills are being the Jets. How many times the last game of the season we play the Jets, we beat the Jets, we're in the playoffs. Right. Yeah. In the past. The Bears, my Bears, I got both games. Man, the Bears are playing the Packers. The Packers need the game. It's the same scenario. Man, so many times in the last 20 years, I have come up on the short end of both of these games, and it goes from what could be a great Sunday to a miserable, sucky, glad football season. Like, bye, Bill, you're done type deal, man. I so want to be in. If I had to pick one of the two, obviously with the Dolphins showing more promise and everything like that, for the Dolphins to get playoff experience this year, it would be so huge, man. And it'll go a long way to next year and the following year. You know what I mean?
Right.
Getting that play. I so want to be in the playoffs. I don't care how, what. Let's just be involved in postseason football, man.
All right. Well, let's tell you what I think is going to happen in this game. I'll give you a prediction. First of all, I had 3 picks for tomorrow. Cards -3 against the Rams. New Orleans -6.5 against the Panthers. Tennessee -7.5 against Houston. And I'm going to take the Dolphins on the road +3. Bills are favored by 3. I'm going to take the Dolphins +3. I think the Dolphins are going to beat the Bills tomorrow 23-19. I think the Dolphin defense steps up in a big-time way, especially that secondary, and they force a couple of turnovers on that offense. And I think Miami ends up edging them 23-19. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And tomorrow, remember, after the Dolphins beat the Bills, we will have our Dolphin postgame show on OnsideRadio.com. So make sure you download the app, MyTuner Radio or Radio FM, either one of those 2 apps. That's what it's called. Not TuneIn, MyTuner Radio or Radio FM, those 2 apps. You can download either, search for Onside Radio, and lock it in. We'll be on immediately after the Dolphin game ends, and we'll be talking about it. We'll have Flo's press conference. We'll have the players. We'll have everything that you need, and we'll get everything wrapped up and get you ready for the playoffs the following week for the Miami Dolphins. But tomorrow, they win their 11th game of the season. They defeat the Bills 23-19. X has an interception in that game. I guarantee you that. So we're going to have some fun with that one. Julius 305, I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for giving us a little love on the Super Chat. All right, Julius says, my Saturday Fins afternoon entertainment. Thank you, Big O and Bill. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Kamani says, sports talk and some fire. Appreciate you all out there, all of you, for tuning in and locking it in, watching the show. Make sure you rate and review the podcast, whether it's on SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, or here on YouTube. Please rate and review. It's very, very important that you rate and review. We thank you all out there. And spread the word. Tell people so they can subscribe to us. And obviously on OnsideRadio.com. We thank Larry Schlossberg and all the amazing people out here at Craig's Inn. Always getting it done. We will see you tomorrow. Post game, Onside Radio. Join us. We'll have some fun. We'll take your phone calls, your texts. Bill.
Just a little FYI, everybody. I'm going to throw out the best ofs this evening. So you'll have a little bit of best ofs from the past week.
You got it. Thank you all out there. Y'all be good.
Happy New Year, everybody. Go Dolphins.